some of the contests I have also seen, they request the audience to keep the cameras on so that the audience response can be seen. Now, there is no guideline from TMI. There is nothing in the rule book about it. We are living in a in-person, hybrid, and an online cocktail scenario today, and so this will be a thing which we will leave to the best judgment and knowledge of a judge as to how he or she will deal with it. There is no formula for it. If I'm a judge, I will take on me the responsibility of being the audience and score.
Thank you very much. Now, next one is a question which I think maybe the district will need to address it. Is judging the reason why we don't produce international champions? Balaji Nagabhushan, over to you.
I don't think so, because all of us who are judges or chief judges or whatever roles we are doing, I think we are doing it in a very honest manner. We are doing it voluntarily, and we are listening to the speakers who are actually performing on the stage at that moment. So if we blame the judges for not getting a contestant to a level where they need to go and become the world champions, I don't think that's right. The more important part we need to look at is, are those speakers who are coming on the contest stage, are they actually getting themselves trained to what the international audience would like to listen? Because most of the people who come on stage, I'm not talking only GCC, I'm talking about every country. We develop our speeches based on the audience which we have seen or the way our region has performed. And we develop our stories based on our culture. But we also need to get experience to what the international audience would want to hear. What is the subject? How we actually go and deliver. So there are lots of other things. So you can't put a finger and say it is because of the judges who are here that our people have not been able to go on to the big stage or win the big contest. I don't agree with that. All right. But yes, there is a responsibility on the district that they select the best of judges and they place them in the judging panel to do the best job they can offer. All the best, Gurvinder.
Okay.
Yeah, I remembered something that Daniel Rex said a few years ago when we were in Abu Dhabi in a D10, and that's a nice music. Thank you, so folks. So what he said was that I've been contesting in many contests as a Toastmasters throughout my life, and there are many trophies in my house. So there are some first place trophies where I did an excellent job, and there are some second and third place trophies where the judges were useless. So that's the story of being an international champion. Well, I would add one element to what DTM Nagbhushan Balaji said. District responsibility is to create quality judges, which they are doing by this program today. But then the responsibility of the judges is to take this learning and then to polish it, to groom it. This 4-hour program will not make you a great judge. It will make you a proficient judge. Today you will understand the ballot papers. Today you will understand the methodologies, the various viewpoints. But your expertise as a judge will only come when you will have done 20, 30 judges contest. And you would have been dealing with difficult situation. You will deal with protests. You will deal with somebody copying from somebody. And that's where the real proficiency of a judge comes up. So my request as a district officer to all of you is, we are all in it together. The district arranges these sessions because it's their responsibility to do it and they're doing it good. But then as a member, it is my responsibility to groom my judging skills by participating in as many contests as I can. There will be a shortage of judges in the days to come. And that time you will be looked upon as you got trained and you did not choose to judge. So you are requested to please be available to judge as many contests as you can, so that the international speakers who are willing to go to the next levels get the best quality of judges also. So the responsibility is shared. It's not whether judges decide that or whether a speaker decides that. Let's all put our all resources together and produce a world champion from District 105 this year.
Thank you very much. Hopefully, this will be our year. Moving forward, DTM Rajendra Verma, a question from one of the members is, in a contest, if a contestant, for example, in an online contest or something, he or she was not able to complete his speech, how do we go about the judging that contestant? Maybe he drops off after 5 minutes or so. He or she was not able to complete the speech. Over to you.
Yeah, I think we have elaborate guidelines which are already issued on various contests because each one is a different contest. If I remember well, I think in table topic contest, the latest was that if somebody drops off in between, that is the end of it. He is disqualified. Whosever fault it may be, if the internet connection goes, he is no more in the contest. But in the case of international speech and humorous speech, which are 7 minutes, I think there are 2 or 3 slabs approach that we are taking. So if, for example, a contestant is able to speak for a minimum of 5 minutes, then he will be given 2 minutes time to get himself reconnected, continue from where he left, and probably given that 1 minute extra because of the disturbance. So I think for each of the 4 rules, the rules are different. And I think they get revised from time to time. If I remember well, the previous year before that, even table topics, people who were getting disconnected had a chance to come back again. But in the last year rules that was amended, I think it said that for table topics, if you are disconnected, that is the end of your journey. So probably we should look out for the same rules this year, what is going to be applicable, and keep abreast.
Thank you very much. DTM VP Menon, a question to you. Why are judges made anonymous during an online contest? Or any contest, I mean, that's what the question is. Why are judges made anonymous?
Yeah, it's just announced that the judges are anonymous, but in any contest, they are the most easiest to spot who the judges are. But anyway, jokes apart, it is anonymous because at the end of the day, we don't want the contestant to know who the judges are. It comes down more to our ethics and stuff, so just to make sure that even somebody who is, tempted to go and speak to a judge and get friendly with them so that they get some better points. So avoid all that, so we're just putting some guidelines in place. And also, if the judges are not known after the contest, there is no opportunity for the participant to come and check with the judge how many marks you gave or whatever, whatever it is. So these are some guidelines, how practical they are, how many times we are in a contest and we don't identify the judges. I mean, I have been in many contests. There has been no contest where I did not know who the judges are. So practically difficult, but yeah, this is just some guidelines to make sure that we avoid any kind of wrongdoing or some things going wrong. That's all.
Thank you very much. DTM VP, just adding on to that, I think this is a fresher who is getting into the world of judging. His question, the particular person question is, what is the role of a tie-breaking judge? Maybe he's new to judging.
So maybe very simple. So normal judges, and these are things which are very clearly explained before the contest by the chief judge. The normal judges will give 1, 2, 3 winners' names, unique names. Although they are marking the scores for all the 10 participants, whereas the tie-breaking judge has a responsibility to give the full list of marking. The full 1 to 10, they have to mark 1, 2, 3, 4. So all other judges only 1, 2, 3, but the tie-breaking judge has a bigger responsibility to give all the winners' names for all the participants in the order of the scores that has been marked by him.
Thank you very much. DTM Balaji, the question, how does a judge score if he or she feels the contestant is crossing the line on a taboo topic? Should I repeat the question?
Yeah.
How does a judge score if he or she feels the contestant is crossing the line on a taboo topic? Over to you.
The judging sheet speaks about everything. Let's take the international speech. You have 2 columns there. One is value to audience. Another one is is the speech appropriate to the audience? Now, it is the moment the judges actually feels that there is somebody is crossing the line, because in this part of the world, you're not supposed to speak on 3 taboo topics. And if you find that that taboo topic is only touched to the tip of the icebreaker, or the person is going above and speaking on the taboo topic, please reduce the scores. Reduce the scores in all these, in both these columns, as well as in the content of the speech, whether it is really connecting to the audience. You have 3 different areas where you can mark the speaker down. And of course, at the end of the speech, at the end of the contest, you will probably get a protest from somebody, either a voting judge or an audience person. I mean, the speaking fraternity which is there, out of the 9 or 10 people who are participating in the contest, somebody will protest. Now, if in case you are a voting judge and you feel that the taboo topic has been touched upon, you also have a reason of coming up to the chief judge and making a comment. Now, is it valid protest? That is something the chief judge will decide.
Thank you very much. DTM Rajendra Verma, a question to you. What does assurance and enthusiasm in delivery means? I think he's referring to the ballot sheet. What does the assurance and enthusiasm in delivery means?
Assurance, I guess, has got something to do with confidence with how you speak. So whenever you're telling something, even if you're telling a white lie, if it is very confidently delivered, then that's a good delivery. We are given the option to use any stories that we want to say, and nobody is going to go and verify whether those stories are true or not. So it's up to you how confidently you put it together. Enthusiasm is totally different. Enthusiasm is something which you need to get engrossed in your speech. When you're speaking, you should get interested in your speech. It is only then you pass on that enthusiasm to the audience, and more particularly the judges. If you're not going to be enthused yourself, how do you expect the audience to get enthused? So enthusiasm is a must in any speech that you do. Be enthusiastic about what you're speaking, and I think that will carry you through.
Thank you very much. DTM Gurbinder, the question to you is, in this perspective of judging, what is the primary difference between an international speech, a humorous speech, and a tall tales speech? The judging perspective.
I think the perspective is that all of them are prepared speeches, number one. So that's common amongst them. All of them are in the same time scale. All of them focus on the content, the delivery, and the appropriateness. However, each one of them has a specific purpose in themselves that is being achieved. So an international speech is by genre is a speech of inspiration, persuasion, entertainment, a kind of delivering a message home, which is more matured, more high level, more intellectual, more touching kind of a message. The purpose of the humorous speech is definitely to entertain, is definitely to have humor in it and yet have a message in it. It delivers a similar message, but in a humorous mode. I mean, don't confuse humorous speech to be a stand-up comedian. That's a misconception. Humorous speech is a speech delivered humorously, giving audience a lot of laughter and lighter movements to process the message. Tall tales is absolutely a third genre of speeches, which is like like Sujil is taking me out for dinner tonight to Atlantis, is a tall tale. So it's a completely different genre which is unreal, which is beyond a normal reality, and thus for judges to be aware of, you don't have to do anything different. Just look at your ballot paper and look at the judging items in the ballot paper and follow it. You don't have to decide whether this speech is fitting for international speech or not. That is not your job. Your job is content. Is it the right content here? Delivery, the language, the appropriateness. So if you follow the judging items in integrity, that's enough. Don't need to struggle anything more than that. Difference between an A and a B and a C.
Thank you very much. I think I don't see much hands up. There is a question in the chat. Is the flow of the speaker, the self-confidence more important than the small grammatical errors? Can we overlook that? And the while marking? DTM VP, would you like to take that? You want
So
me to
there is
repeat the
no
question?
there is no overlooking or underlooking of anything. It's just about sticking to the criteria. So whatever is the criteria, there is a band, and you cannot go beyond that band. See, even grammar, your own judgment based on the bands available, you give them score. If they are good with grammar, okay. But you don't decide what is important, what is not important, because everything in that judging criteria is important, and that is why it is there. You have been given the flexibility to decide the band based on your own personal judgment. Yeah, so that's where your own personal judgment comes in. So there is no overlooking, underlooking. Just stick to the judging criteria and the bands.
Thank you very much. I think that's it from my side. You all have been wonderful, and I think
Sujil,
this.
I have a question.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rizvi, you
Rizvi,
start,
please.
then I will come.
Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Small questions. That one. So sometimes we have normally one tiebreaker judge. Always, whenever I'm chief judge, I'm trying to log into through devices. One is wireless, and one is from the 3G data. But assume that if the tiebreaker is speech, he could not listen to two speeches. That one. He could not speak to two speeches out of the 8 contestants. So he cannot judge all the rank all the speakers, and assume that one of the speaker who did not listen to that is coming as a tiebreaker. So how can you solve that issues? How can you break the tie?
DTM Balaji.
It's one of the most difficult questions to answer. I think all the people who are here in the panel would say the same thing, because we tell all the judges during the briefing that if they have any problem with connectivity, they'll have to intimate the chief judge immediately. And the chief judge has to take steps to make sure that the number of judges are sufficient, even though one judge is missing. The issue comes is, in every contest, you have only one tiebreaker judge. You would have appointed that person as the tiebreaker. If you have more number of judges, the chief judge would have the liberty saying, okay, the tiebreaker judge has a connection problem. Suddenly he can intimate to another judge, voting judge, saying that you please take over as tiebreaker now because you have listened to all the speeches. The problem comes is when for instance, in an area contest, you have 5 judges and you have one tiebreaker, and then you are the chief judge and you're not a voting judge. And if the tiebreaker judge suddenly cuts off, you have 5 voting judges. So what do you want to do? The alternate you have is nobody. So you need to think of, out of the 5 judges, whom I can double act as a tiebreaker judge also. So you get the 5 voting judges scores, and you also would have intimated somebody that please make sure that you give me the list of speakers in the order. That means please give me a list of all the winners, and refer to that only and only in case there is a tie. Now, this is a major problem. I hope we don't encounter that. And it's very difficult sometimes to have 2 tiebreaker judges acting in a contest. It's very difficult. So this is the only way I feel we can manage, because the chief judge is not supposed to be a voting judge in any contest. If VP and Gurbinder have other ideas, other rules, please come out with it.
Yeah, I think what I would add is, again, we are living in a complex contest scenario these days. We are not in a in-person, in the room scenario, or we are not. It's very, very complex to do online contests, and even more complex to do hybrid level contests. And the district PQT team every year does a very detailed work of putting together a document listing down all these scenarios, ifs and buts of what happened. When I was a CGD, me and DTN Nelson did. When I was a PQD, I did. When last year we did it again. So my recommendation, DTM Rizvi, here is that, honestly, in this judges training, we don't have an answer to this. We are right now talking about the ballot papers. We are talking about the rule book. We are not talking about what happens if the Wi-Fi goes off. Now, that's a scenario which only the district PQT team can deliberate discuss and give you a couple of recommendations. Again, there cannot be a foolproof answer to it. If the Wi-Fi goes off, maybe the contest is off. Let's do a contest another day. Today it is off. Maybe it comes to that. Or maybe you have some other, like DTM Balaji said, a backup judge or whatever. So it will be a very, very contest specific arrangement that I would say that the people who are managing the contest managers, the area director, the division director, or the chief judge will have to agree upon and say, if X happens, then we'll do this. If Y happens, we'll do this. And if Z happens, we don't have an answer. We'll all go home. So I think I will take it in that spirit because we are living in a very, very ambiguous kind of a scenario here.
Thank you very much.
I did not confuse you further.
No, thank you. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much. I think we are running short of time. We need to close this down, our session. It has been
There
wonderful.
are too many
wonderful.
hands. There are too many hands in the, if you see hands lifted, there are too many people who are waiting to speak.
I know, but we have a paucity of time as well.
Okay, can I ask that simple question, one small
Please.
one?
Please.
I remember last year in the online contest judging, the contest chair was told to close every contest. That means once the contest has started, international speech, before moving into the next contest, the contest chair had to announce the international speech contest has been adjourned. And I also remember somebody coming and telling me that if someone has to lodge a protest, it has to be lodged before the contest is adjourned. So in that case, the rule of somebody can come and lodge a protest until the winners are announced will not stand. Am I right?
Yes, I think that is the right way to depict it. DTM Gurbinder.
Yeah, I think that was the spirit of the discussion and the agreement amongst all, because sometimes the time taken at the end of the contest and by the time the winners are announced is way long, and sometimes multiple protests keep coming up in that way. So this was a discussion and there was a consensus opinion taken that at the end of the contest, this will be announced that the contest is closed now. And so the no more protest will be entered in after that. That was, I think, the spirit of the decision.
Thank you very much. And definitely all the questions, the facilitators and other members, if you have any questions, you can send it to us. Definitely we will be replying to those. This is just simply because of the paucity of the time, we need to wind up this session. Thank you, master trainers, for taking your valuable time and sharing your wisdom. Thank you once again. Let's District 105 give a round of applause for this master trainers. Thank you very much. Hope you all had a wonderful session. Now let me invite Toastmaster DB back at the helm. Toastmaster DB, over to you.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries and fellow Toastmasters once again. So earlier we had announced a contest for area directors, saying that the most number of participants from each of the areas would be called the most influential area directors. And we are happy to say that we got the results. So hold on to your seats, get ready to applaud while I share my screen, and let's see who are the most influential area directors of District 105. The third most influential area director, Area 19 Director, Toastmaster Asanka Fernando. The second most influential area director, Area 49 Director, Toastmaster Anju Chatwani. And the most influential area director, Area 48 Area Director, Toastmaster Soumya Shetty. Congratulations to the most influential area directors.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? All females?
The most influenced ones. And moving on, without further ado, let me hand over to the man who needs no introduction, the District Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Jamil Shakil. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Jamil.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much, our dazzling master of ceremony for this event, Toastmaster DV. What a wonderfully led session. Absolutely fantastic. You kept the energy high right from the word go. And even now, just as we are closing off, the energy is still quite high. Toastmasters, leaders, district officers, past district officers, so many people who have seen in my journey of Toastmasters, so many people who have grown to respect, grown to love and learn. What a wonderful day of learning this has been. And I am so grateful to everybody who has been part of it. I don't know where to start, but obviously I have to start somewhere. So first of all, before I start, I'd like to congratulate the 3 ADs who have won the Most Influential AD of the Year award. Now, influence, as you know, in Arabic stands for Wasta. So these are 3 ADs this year, or for this training, who have been deemed to have the highest Wasta in their areas. Keep going. Wasta gets you to a lot of places. A lot of us know that. First of all, I'd like to start off by expressing a big bucket load of thanks and gratitude to our 4 main master trainers. What wonderful sessions they conducted. It was full of learning, full of experiences. They just didn't come here and share some slides, but what they shared was their experiences. They shared their wealth of knowledge. Distinguished Toastmaster Balaji, he conducted the international contest session. Wonderfully done. So much learning, and he set the platform there for the rest of the trainers to carry on and build on it and focus on their specific areas. Then we had our own Paji, Distinguished Toastmaster Gurbinder Pun, speaking about the evaluation contest. Moving on to the star of the table topics contest, Distinguished Toastmaster Rajendra Verma. And we had this session of the morning rounded off by Distinguished Toastmaster VP Menon, who spoke about the humorous speech contest and its elements. Thank you to our master trainers for very kindly accepting our humble request to them to be master trainers for today, for giving up their time on a Saturday and for coming and sharing not only their experiences in the morning, but also being there throughout the session and helping us in the panel discussion to answer so many questions, so many tricky questions which were there. They answered with such ease, with such panache. It just shows the wealth of knowledge and experience that they have as Toastmasters. Thank you to all the facilitators. We had a total of 20 facilitators today in the session that we had post lunch break, and all of these facilitators helped the people who were in their rooms to have interesting questions, interesting discussions which came up into the panel discussion. So I'm going to go each one name by name. Distinguished Toastmasters Shyamla, Andy, Rehna, Nisha, Dilip, Toastmaster Suranga, Toastmaster Stephen, Shashidhar, Arun Bhatia, DTM, Romeo, Toastmaster Navendra, Distinguished Toastmaster Lakshmi, Distinguished Toastmaster Bipin, Toastmaster Philip, Distinguished Toastmasters Adarsh Medgal, Muhammad Rizvi, Shaji Manpali, Toastmaster Kanti, and Distinguished Toastmaster Cleeta Krasta. A big thank you to all the facilitators for their wonderful role, which again, this session would not have been possible without their support, without their backing. And now, thank you to the leaders, the division directors, all 16 division directors, all 65 area directors who have been spreading the message, inviting their clubs, inviting the club offices to send people for this training, to make sure that we had at one point in time close to 400 attendees that we had in the training, which is a huge number. It's a big number. And if we have so many trained judges, then the question that we had regarding availability, regarding scheduling, there should be no question this year, right? When you have almost 400 trained judges, you can easily have judges for every contest, right from club all the way to DTAC, without having any issues of availability or scheduling. So let's ensure that all of us who are here trained as judges fulfill that role. So thank you, division directors. Thank you, area directors, for making this happen, for giving us your confidence, for getting members to come and attend this particular training. Now, all of this is not possible without the wonderful team that has worked to ensure that this event is brought to you. I'd like to first of all thank the Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Deepa, for leading this effort right from the beginning, for coordinating with I don't know how many people, for ensuring that the whole plan is in place, ensuring that members are here, role players are there. Thank you, DTM Deepa, for facilitating, organizing, and leading this session right from the goal all the way to the end. Thank you so much. The team who supported her, we had Toastmaster Inesio in the morning. We had DTM Sujal facilitating the panel discussion and who was there throughout supporting DTM Deepa. We had Toastmaster Divi adding sparkles and lights to this entire event for today. Thank you so much for your support, for your contributions. In addition to all the people that we are seeing, all the people who have spoken on mic, there are some hidden and silent spectators, much like the anonymous judges who should be there, who should remain anonymous. These role players need not remain anonymous. These are the Zoom masters, Toastmasters, Jinesh, Rohin, and Jerry, and the timers, Toastmaster Navindu and Toastmaster Shalu, sorry. And finally, we'd also like to extend a big thank you to the admin manager for the district, Madam Toastmaster Sudha, for helping us set up the Zoom account, the registration link, and all the required logistics behind to ensure that we are able to register and come. Thank you also to our district director, District Toastmaster, Rani Abul Rab, for again placing her confidence in us to run this session, for giving us her support to make sure that we have a session that we all can be proud of. I've reached the end of my list of thank yous. I'd like to just close off on a couple of points. As trained judges, let us remember every word, every message that was given today by the master trainers, by the facilitators during the panel discussions. Please ensure that you are available. Please ensure that you are willing to judge. Let's not forget our very core important values that should drive us at all times. Ethics, very, very important. Whatever we do, plan and prepare properly, and let us work together as trained judges to ensure that we do our role properly, which is very simply put it, very basically put, to ensure that we help select the best speaker in that particular contest on that particular day. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's go out and do a job that we all can be proud of as District 105. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And on this note, I'd like to hand over back to the Sergeant at Arms, because I'm sure we would love to take a group photo of everybody who's available here. The team Deepa, I'd like to give you this opportunity to please take over. Thank you.
No, you just please close. That's it.
No group picture?
Group picture, yes.
So if everybody could please switch on their cameras and dazzle us with your smiles. You might need to keep smiling for a few moments because there are multiple screens to be scrolled through by the people taking the pictures. So just keep smiling. We won't mind. You all look lovely. It's a good way to enter into the evening of this Saturday. Somebody, Zoom Master, please let us know when you're done.
Yes.
When the pictures are done, please let us know. Vitim Rohan, are you taking our pictures? Some people are frozen. Any of the Zoom Masters, are we taking pictures?
DTM Rohin, are you there? Otherwise,
Yes,
I'll take. Yes. Okay.
pictures have been taken.
Okay. All done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great rest, end of the weekend, and enjoy. All the very best.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.